What's happening, FML fam? Jack here from Fun My Life, looking at 10 of the most anticipated games coming out with a confirmed release in 2022. That's right, I said confirmed release, meaning we won't be going over games with a speculative 2022 release in this video. As this list is just 10 games, I will of course be missing a lot of games here. However, I've included some extra games that I will be throwing in here at the end of the video to pique your interest into some exciting titles arriving later this year, so make sure to stick around. Also, this list is ordered in accordance with their release dates, and not regarding the general hype surrounding each game. Now then, grab your favorite beverage, take out your calendars, and let's dive into the 10 confirmed games coming out in 2022 that you should really keep a lookout for. Let's get started. Number 1 is Pokemon Legends Arceus. Arceus? Arceus? Artemis? Is it Arceus or Arceus? I'm going to go with Arceus, as it's been widely referred to in this pronunciation among Pokemon fans, but feel free to criticize my pronunciation in the comments section below. Pokemon Legends Arceus. Oh god! Pokemon Legends Arceus is the latest in the long-running Pokemon franchise, and this title sees the most dramatic shift in the formula to date with its open-world inspired traversal and exploration. Set in the Sinnoh region well before the more modern events of the Pokemon titles, Pokemon Legends Arceus flips the script when it comes to what to expect in a Pokemon game, with a new focus on action role-playing battle mechanics, larger, open world-like maps, a new, more focused storyline, and much more. Yes, we will be throwing Pokeballs made of wood and twigs in this game due to it taking place long before the more modern Pokemon games. Expect to create the world's very first Pokedex as you set out to be the best trainer there ever was on January 28th when the game lands on the Nintendo Switch. Now, coming in hot at number 2 is Dying Light 2, Stay Human. Dying Light 2 is of course a sequel to the beloved Dying Light that came out some years ago. In Dying Light 2, up to 4 players can join up and try to survive through the aptly named city, fending off hordes of ever-crazed zombies as they try to secure you as their next meal. Dying Light 2, Staying Human, brings back all the awesome parkour and gruesome melee combat its previous game made it famous for, while upping the play environment considerably, resulting in your parkour, debauchery, and forearm-splitting melee combat expanding to nearly 4 times the size of the first game.
4 times.
Oh my god!
Sure to be a hit, this highly anticipated follow-up to Dying Light comes out February 4th to PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4 and PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series S and X. Coming in at number 3 is Sifu, a highly anticipated third-person brawler action-adventure game. This brawler sports an impressive 150+ unique attacks the player can learn and utilize as the player takes control of a kung fu student who strives to hunt down and defeat a group of assassins who murdered his family. Sifu promises to be a remarkably unique brawler, sporting a mechanic that if you were to die, you resurrect with a talisman that ages your body and increases your maximum damage output, but lowers your health. It'll be fascinating to see if this creative mechanic enhances the play experience when it releases on February 8th for the PC, PS4, and PS5. Note that if players pick up the deluxe version of the game, players can have access to the game 48 hours early, along with a digital art book and game soundtrack. Number 4 is Horizon Forbidden West, the long-awaited follow-up to Horizon Zero Dawn released on the PS4 way back in 2017. In Horizon Forbidden West, players once again take control of Aloy, a huntress who seeks to reclaim the land populated by dangerous machines, while seeking to uncover lost civilizations and whatever humanity remains in this post-apocalyptic recreation of the West Coast region of the United States. Players can expect to encounter brand new enemy machines and employ a variety of new gadgets as they explore massive biomes. Particularly exciting is the implementation of underwater exploration and combat, greatly expanding the series' new gameplay possibilities. Be prepared to sink dozens and dozens of hours into Horizon Forbidden West when it releases on February 18th for the PS4 and PS5. Crashing in with a brutal flurry of slashes and magic blasts is another heavy hitter, Elden Ring. Yes, it's finally arriving, and we have an official release date. Elden Ring is the latest by From Software and is seen as a spiritual successor to the Dark Souls franchise by bringing in its staple combat but widening its scale into an open-world action RPG. Players can expect the same grueling challenge familiar with previous games from the developer, while introducing a massive open world to explore with a variety of loot to find and multiplayer fun to be had. Players can take advantage of the game's scale and size by traversing the beautiful open environments by horseback, and can find numerous hidden tombs and dungeons that contain worthwhile loot and optional boss content. Players can finally rest assured knowing that they can play this game when it launches on February 25th for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. Gran Turismo 7 comes in drifting at number 6. This iconic and long-adored driving simulator hits 2022 with the much-requested GT Simulation mode, bringing back a single-player campaign with meaningful progression and unlocks. The game also features dynamic weather and time effects, a driving school, championships, and much more. Gran Turismo 7 launches exclusively on the PS4 and PS5 on March 4th, with the PS5 version of the game taking advantage of the solid-state drive for fast loading and optimized gameplay at 4K and 60 frames per second. Coming in at number 7 is Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. This colorful first-person looter shooter and action role-playing game is a spin-off of the widely popular Borderlands series and serves as a continuation of Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep, an expansion from Borderlands 2. In Tiny Tina's Wonderland, the player can choose from 2 to 6 different classes and set out on an adventure with up to 4 players as you explore and battle through a tabletop-inspired fantasy world. New to Tiny Tina's Wonderlands is the ability to mix and match desired class skills, meaning your abilities won't be solely tied to a singular character class. Expect a lot of laughs and addictive shooting and looting gameplay when Tiny Tina's Wonderlands drops on March 25th for PC, PS4 and 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series X and S. Son of the Forest screams in at number 8. This highly anticipated follow-up to The Forest is a survival game that heavily incorporates horror elements, creating an incredibly immersive and captivating game world that will keep players either solo or in groups on their toes. Although very little of the game has been shown, we can expect plenty of base building, scavenging for resources, and plenty of scares and gruesome enemy encounters when it launches on May 20th for PC. Number 9 brings us Forspoken. Forspoken, previously known as Project Athia, is an upcoming role-playing game published by Square Enix. The player assumes the role of Frey Holland, a young woman living in New York when she becomes transported into a fantasy world. Using magical powers to aid her in combat, the player must guide her through a massive open world in a story-driven adventure. The game focuses on her incredible speed to traverse the game's vast environments, which looks really fun and satisfying. But players are wondering if the open world may be a little too empty and serve just as a play space to have fun traversing its environments. We won't have to wait too long though, as this title is now scheduled to release on May 24th for the PS5 and PC. And at number 10 to round off this list is Starfield, the game that was announced eons ago but now has a release date of November 11th, 2022. This new game by Bethesda is the latest in their open world catalog of games, taking place in outer space as the player navigates foreign planets in an expansive galaxy. Starfield has been popularly described as Skyrim in outer space, and if that appeals to you, you will most likely greatly enjoy Starfield. Players will come to expect excellent role-playing elements with near limitless customization, quests, loot, and the freedom to enact your space exploration fantasies. Starfield releases on PC and Xbox Series X and S, with it being available on Game Pass at launch. And there you have it. 2022 seems to be a pretty stacked year for game releases, don't you think? What games are you most looking forward to picking up this year? Let me know in the comments section below what you're interested in getting. Also, please like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content regarding video game reviews, analyses, top 10s, and more. If I've still got your attention, here are 12 more games releasing this year that might interest you. Monster Hunter Rise, the incredibly popular Switch title released last year, is coming to the PC this year on January 12th. Rainbow Six Extraction, the latest in this long-running franchise. Extraction is a PvE game where teams of up to 3 players venture deep into alien-infested locations as they work to secure valuable items to extract. Rainbow Six Extraction releases on January 20th on PC, PS4, and 5, Xbox One, Series X and S, and Google Stadia. God of War PC. The mega hit PS4 single-player masterpiece is finally releasing on PC January 14th. Uncharted, Legacy of Thieves Collection. A compilation of Uncharted 4 and Uncharted The Lost Legacy is arriving with updated graphics and enhancements to the PS5 and PC on January 28th. Ollie Ollie World. This cult favorite franchise is outing once again and bringing with it more enhancements to its addictive skateboarding action when it releases February 8th for the PC, Switch, PS4 and 5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series S and X. Total War Warhammer 3. The next entry in the popular real-time strategy franchise will be making its debut on the PC February 17th. Martha is Dead. An upcoming first-person psychological horror game set in Italy following the events of World War II. A lot of people who have seen it and played it praise this game for its novel approach to horror and may be worth checking out when it lands on February 24th for PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series S and X. Triangle Strategy. A role-playing tactical game reminiscent of Final Fantasy Tactics with the art style of Octopath Traveler lands on the Nintendo Switch on March 4th. Stranger of Paradise, Final Fantasy Origin. This Souls-like Final Fantasy game launches on March 18th for the PC, PS4, PS5, and Xbox One and Series S and X. 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. A beautiful strategy game released in 2020 will finally be coming to the Switch on April 12th. Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl. Coming April 18th for PC and Series X and S, this survival horror FPS franchise marks its first game to debut since 2009. Saints Row. A reboot of the open-world Mayhem action series lands on August 23rd for the PC, PS4, PS5, and Xbox One, and Series S and X. Now, that about does it with this video. If you stayed around all the way to the very end, pat yourself on the back, and I present you this adorable picture of what a hedgehog actually looks like. If you haven't already done so, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more gaming content. I sincerely thank you for all your support, and I wish you all an excellent 2022. FML!